Welcome to Bar TV Sports broadcast of the VB South Coast Group 7 first grade competition. It is the major qualifying semi-final. The Jamberoo Superoos take on the Shellharbour City Sharks here at Kevin Walsh Oval. Let's have a look at both of these lineups as Shellharbour have first use of the ball. For Shellharbour, Jason Gray is their fullback. On the wings, Jamie Manakonga and Jai Brooker. In the centres, Ian Catania and Wade Aiken. In the halves, Brock Skelly and Matt Carroll. In the front row is Craig Stapleton. Hans Schuster is the dummy half and skipper as Shellharbour kick it down into enemy territory. Mark Asquith bringing it back. Jake Goody is the front rower for Shellharbour. In the back row is Ryan McCracken, Abraham Matala and Dylan McGregor. On the interchange bench is Brendan Kelly, Aaron McLaughlin, Daniel McLennan and Kane Chapman. And they're coached by Abatala. For Jamberoo, their fullback is Mark Asquith. On the wings, Ben Barnard and Dean Watling. In the centres is Jake Clark and Trent Ryan. In the halves, Josh Kent and John Dallas. In the front row is Aaron Grigg. The hooker is James Asquith, and the other front rower is Matt Webster. James Gilmore, Corey Grigg and Luke Asquith are in the back row. On the interchange bench is Jay Toof, Jack Loveday, Ben Wade and Brendan Smith. The referee today is Kerry Lee Nolan. The two judges are Jordan Mitchell and Sam McDonald. On the interchange, officials are Greg Poppett and Larry Kent. As Shellharbour have their second set of 6. Brock Skelly awaits out of acting half. Good tackle there from Matt Webster for Jamberoo. And number 5, Jai Brooker, has come up with a mistake. As the minor premiers get their first set of 6 in enemy territory. Jamberoo achieving their first minor premiership in 56 years. The Shellharbour City Sharks had a good victory last week against the Kyma Knights, winning 22 points to 12. Coming to this game full of confidence. They go to the left, Asquith, nice pass away to Jake Clark. Mark Asquith awaits out of acting half. John O'Dall's first receiver. Here's Matt Webster, who's been one of the standouts for Jamberoo this season. James Asquith goes to Dallas, out the back to Josh Kent. Josh Kent, the former Gorilla, they continue to go right. Here's Mark Asquith, cut out ball away. Goes to Trent Ryan, offload to Dean Watling, goes over the touchline. And the Shellharbour City Sharks will get the ball back. Good defensive set of 6 in their own territory. Already had some major qualifying semi-finals here today. Milton Ulladulla won the Ladies League Tag Major Semi against Stingrays Green, 20 points to 18. Sussex Inland won 28 to 26 over Mount Warrigal in 3rd grade. And in the under-18s, Milton Ulladulla won 22 to 18 over Rilla Lake South Gorillas. And in reserve grade, Kyma winning in extra time, 42 points to 32 over Gerringong Lions. Shellharbour get their first penalty for the game. Here come the Shellharbour City Sharks. Craig Stapleton on the halfway line. Plays it to Schuster. And that's Jake Goody taking it forward inside the 40-metre line. His skipper awaits at a dummy half. They go to the right with Matt Carroll. Plenty of numbers in the tackle there for the Superoos as the Sharks. And come up with a mistake. Both teams just trying to find their stride early in this game. And a free kick given away. Matty Carroll for a bit of back chat, an extra comment. Discipline's going to be a big determining factor in this game today as John O'Dallas will find touch. Here's Here's Matt Webster. Plays it to James Asquith, goes to the front rower, Aaron Grigg. Asquith, dummy half. Kent, ball away to James Gilmore, trying to get around the outside. Gives it to Trent Ryan, he goes down the touchline. And he's met by McCracken in the tackle. 25 metres out for Jamberoo. Asquith out of acting half. James Gilmore with another hit up. Asquith now to Josh Kent. Will take the tackle himself. Not much doing there. In fact, he'll get the offload away. Matt Webster goes to Gilmore, a former Keimer Knight. Met by Craig Stapleton in the tackle. Here's James Asquith, goes to John O'Dallas. Crossfield kick to the wing of where Ben Barnard is. And it's been well taken in the end by Jai Brooker. Here's Jamie Manakonga. Skelly out of acting half. Goes to Ratala. What to play for in this game. The winner goes on to the grand final at Collegiate Sporting Complex in 2 weeks' time. The loser will take on the Keimer Knights next Sunday at Cess Glen Holmes Oval in Rulla. Both these teams have only met once this season so far, back in round 11. Shellharbour coming out with a comfortable victory, 34 points to 6 at Ron Costello Oval. McGregor, short ball away to Stapleton. Craig Stapleton, an ex-NRL player, played for the Sharks and the Penrith Panthers. Goes to Carroll. Nice charge down there from Corey Grigg. And has been kicked forward by Clark, and he's going to score. What a great play there from the number 12, Corey Grigg. Jake Clark coming up with a nice chase, and the Superoos are away with a nice try early in this game. 7 minutes gone here at Kevin Walsh, and the Superoos are up 4-0 with a kick to come. That's Jake Clark's 7th try for the season. Been quite a dynamic centre for the Superoos, as Dean Watling, the former Culburra Dolphin player, will take the conversion attempt from right in front of the uprights. Dean Watling featured in the Culburra Dolphins' third grade premiership winning team last year. And he finds himself kicking goals for the Jamberoo Superoos this year in first grade. Puts it right between the uprights. Superoos are up 6-0. Just 8 minutes gone.
Good kick, jockey, foul!
The Jamberoo try was scored by the number 3, Jake Clark, and conversion by Dean Watling.
Jamberoo Superoos' last game of the season was round 18 here at Kevin Walsh Oval when they defeated the defending premiers 16 points to 4 against the Lions. It was a good victory. And they're looking to replicate that performance here today. James Asquith at dummy half. Gives it away this time to the number 8, Aaron Grigg. Asquith to the 18, Brendan Smith, who's just come onto the park. Asquith at dummy half. Josh Kent kicks early inside his 40. Not a bad kick either. Will definitely test the winger. And he's up to the challenge. Jai Brooker. Wade Aiken playing in his 10th game for the season. And they get themselves a much needed penalty. Looking to hit back here, the Sharks. .40 metres out. Skelly, short ball away to Goody. And Schuster awaits a dummy half, got options on both sides, goes to the left where Craig Stapleton is. Another hit up, been pretty busy early in this game. Here's Brock Skelly at the back to Dylan McGregor. Good tackle there from Corey Grigg for the Superoos. Jake Goody once more, second hit up for the set of 6. Schuster, switch of play, goes out to Atala. Atala straightening up the attack. Gets the offload away to Stapleton. Stapleton offloads to Schuster. Out the back this time to the number 4 Aiken. And he'll take the tackle. Schuster. Brock Skelly, crossfield kick. Jamie Manakonga out there. Can he get it? Yes, he can. What a try that is. Great kick from Brock Skelly. And Jamie Manakonga, the veteran, has scored the first try for the Sharks this afternoon at 6 points to 4 with a kick to come. Jamie Manakonga scoring his 10th try for the season. Matt Carroll with the conversion attempt. Manakonga was a part of the 2001 Premiership winning side in first grade. Matt Carroll just 10 points away from achieving 200 points for the season. And Carroll puts it right between the sticks. 6-all here once again between the Superoos and the Sharks. Sharks managed to work themselves up the field with a nice penalty and good interchange of passing. Beautiful crossfield kick from Brock Skelly to Jamie Manakonga.
The Shellharbour try was scored by the number 2, Jamie Manakonga, and conversion attempt by Matty Carroll. Raise the flags at 6-all.
Jake Goody returns it. Been pretty busy so far. Here's Stapleton, met by Smith. Asquith and Gilmore in the tackle. Go down the short side this time. 20 metres out from halfway. Schuster goes to Dylan McGregor. He's had an outstanding season so far in 2017. Goes to Carroll. Changes the play. Good tackle there from James Asquith. Schuster goes to Skelly on the last tackle. Nice high kick. Will definitely test out Ben Barnard. And he's up for the challenge. And he'll return it to the middle of the park and he'll find Craig Stapleton and Jake Goody. Here's Dean Watling. Gets muscled back by McGregor and Atala. Asquith, Dallas, out to Jake Clark. So looking to drive him towards the sideline, getting pretty close there. Just stays in the field of play. Captain coach John O'Dallas takes a hit up. This is Aaron Grigg. Asquith, they go to the left. John O'Dallas with a nice little grubber kick towards the wing of Brooker. And he's going to be trapped and he's in goal. Good work from Ben Barnard, good chase. As the Superoos look to get the lead once more.
For those supporters out there that bought doubles off Noel as he went around the ground, you must have the Jamberoo
Ben
number
Barnard
3.
has been one of the top try
Shellharbour
scorers this year in the
2,
competition, 17 tries in 16
double
games.
number 16. Number 16
Comes up with a good
is the
defensive
winning
play there,
double.
good chase on the back of
If you have that
a
number,
good John
please
O'Dallas
go
kick.
to the canteen and get your prize.
Let's see if the Shellharbour
Jamberoo
Sharks
number
can
3, the Shellharbour
replicate
number
the defensive
2.
effort that they did
Winning
in the
double
first
number
start of
is
the first half,
16.
preventing an early try. Here comes Dallas. Gives it away to Matt Webster. Centrefield this time. Dallas out the back to Kent. Nice little attacking shift here. And James Gilmore led by Catania in the tackle. Asquith, Kent. Away to Aaron Grigg. Superoos on the attack. Asquith, they go to the left. Dallas. Asquith back on the inside to the number 12, Corey Grigg. Good defence there from Ian Catania. James Asquith looked to go himself. He had Brendan Smith in the middle of the field, but doesn't use him. Dallas, a dummy half, goes to Kent with a nice crossfield kick over to Watling. Dean Watling, can he get it down? Just couldn't get a handle on it. It was the right play from Josh Kent. Superoos could have easily extended their lead to 10 points to 6, but the Sharks, they did well in defence there to hold them out. And that could prove to be costly for the Superoos as the Sharks work it out of their own territory. Jason Gray, featured in 13 games this season. Goes to McCracken. .24 minutes left in the first half. Good solid hit there from Josh Kent on Ian Catania. Centrefield now, McGregor, nice little inside ball to Jake Goody. Schuster goes to Carroll, low driving kick towards the corner of Dean Watling. And Dean Watling is met by Manakonga and Catania in the tackle. We'll see if the Sharks can cramp this Superoos attack in their own side of the park. Aim up in defence here, show plenty of good line speed. As Trent Ryan goes for a nice little dummy half run. Only his 4th game for the season. Asquith. This is James's time. Had his brother Luke on the outside, doesn't use him. This is his brother Mark at dummy half. Will go for a run. Gets the offload away to Dallas. Met a good one-on-one tackle there from Wade Aiken. And the Superoos get a much-needed penalty. Sharks will be tested again on their own goal line. Here's Luke Asquith back from injury. Jake Loveday, who's on the bench for the Superoos, is also back from injury today. Brendan Smith. Dallas, a dummy half, goes to Josh Kent. Mark Asquith puts a nice little step on, but Matt Carroll's up to the challenge in defence. And a penalty for the Superoos. I'll probably take the tap here. Aaron Grigg with the first hit up of this set of 6. Towards the uprights they go. James Asquith, Josh Kent. Out the back to Dallas. They've got numbers on this left flank, but the Sharks are able to clean it up. And in fact, it's a Sharks knock on, so the Superoos will get one more chance inside this 20-metre zone. Here's Josh Kent off the scrum. Gets it out to Trent Ryan, goes to Dean Watling, and Dean Watling's going to score off a simple scrum play. They didn't have the numbers out there on that left defensive side for the Sharks. And Dean Watling gets his 8th try for the season. They had a few back-to-back sets of 6, and the Superoos have the lead once more. They lead 10 points to 6 with a kick to come. Dean Watling playing on the wing today. Normally he finds himself playing in the centres. With the injection of Trent Ryan, he moves to the wing, and Ben Wade goes back to the bench. Looking for his second successful conversion attempt for the day. From the sideline, not a bad kick. And what a great kick that is from Dean Watling, right from the sideline. Second conversion for this afternoon for the Superoos. They lead 12 points to 6 with 19 minutes left in this first half. Shellharbour Sharks need to find themselves in enemy territory.
The Jamberoo try was scored by the number 5,
had to
Dean
defend
Watling,
for quite a significant
and the
period of
conversion
time.
was done by number 5, Dean
Another
Watling.
end of the field, but
Scores Jamberoo 12.
the Superoos have the lead
6.
once more, leading 12 to 6. Let's see if the Sharks can make it back to a deadlock before half time. Here's Aaron Grieg. Plays to James Asquith. This is his brother Luke. 3 Asquith brothers featuring for the Jamberoo today. They had their 4th brother featuring in first grade last year, Paul, who plays Super Rugby for the Melbourne Rebels. And that kick has gone out in the full. That's the last thing the Superoos need after scoring points. And the Sharks get the ball back in pretty decent field position. Shellharbour City Sharks looking to apply plenty of pressure on this big and mobile forward pack of the Superoos. Here's Dylan McGregor. Was a player of the first grade competition last year in Group 7. Carroll takes it on himself. Nice little dummy, nice little step. Here goes Matt Carroll in the backfield. Can he get over to the try line? Yes, he can. Great work from Matt Carroll. In fact, he's lost it. Big call there from Carrie Lee Nolan, but it was a promising play there from Matt Carroll. Nice little dummy and go. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with the chocolates as the Superoos hold on by the skin of their teeth there. Matt Carroll's had a good game so far as well. Good kicking game and passing game. Done plenty of work in defence. Luke Asquith for the football. James Asquith away to Aaron Grieg. Loser of this game will face the Kima Knights. The Knights had a good win yesterday at the Kima Showground, winning 19 points to 4 against the defending premiers, the Gerringong Lions. Here's Luke Asquith. Ball away to this time to Brendan Smith. Met by Taylor in the tackle. Inside the 40-metre zone of the Sharks, here's John O'Dallas. They've been good down that left side of the field. And it's Jason Gray to bring it back. And the Sharks get a much-needed penalty there. Shellharbour City Sharks have won 5 first-grade premierships during their time in the Group 7 competition. Their last back in 2001. The Superoos have won 8. They haven't won a first-grade premiership since 1974, though. It's been a long time between drinks. Taylor met by Jake Clark on that right side of the field. Continue to go down that way. Wade Aiken met on a nice one-on-one tackle from Corey Grigg. Schuster back on the inside. Sharks inside the 20-metre zone of the Superoos. Here's a Taylor going down that short side once more. Ball ends up in the hands of Jai Brooker. And he gets taken over the sideline. The Superoos will have the ball back with a scrum. In fact, to play the ball. Good defence there from the Sharks. As the number 16, Dane McLennan, has come onto the park. Both teams starting to utilise their interchanges. The 17, Kane Chapman, is on the field as well for the Sharks. Here's Luke Asquith. Plays it to brother James. Nice little dummy half run. Takes a tackle. Asquith out of acting half. That's marked this time. And he's lost the football. Very important set of 6 defensively here for the Superoos as the Sharks look to get the game back to level pegging once more. Ryan McCracken goes to the right side off the back of the scrum. Led by Jack Loveday, who's on the field for the Superoos. McLennan. Nice strong hit up. So working through the centre field this time. Superoos getting plenty of numbers in defence. Here's the 15, Aaron McLaughlin. Now goes McCracken. Met by Josh Kent in the tackle. 5th and last tackle. Got options both sides. We'll go to Matt Carroll on the left. Nice little grubber kick towards the corner, but it'll go dead. And the Superoos will get an extra 7 tackle set. This is Trent Ryan, the former Northern Ulladulla Bulldog, played under 20s for the Dragons as well. It's James Asquith, and they get a penalty. James Gilmore. Brother Luke also plays for the Superoos. Go to the left with Josh Kent. Short ball away to Loveday, former Culborough Dolphin. Centre field with James Asquith goes to his brother Luke. Good defence there from Carroll and also the 17, Kane Chapman. Asquith, short ball away to Jack Loveday. Good try there for the Superoos. Earned themselves a penalty. A few nice dummy half runs and Jack Loveday gets himself a try. His 3rd try for the season. Scored in his last game against the Stingrays at Shellharbour a couple of weeks ago before he got injured. And the Superoos extend their lead to 16 points to 6 with a kick to come. Dean Watwilling with his third successive conversion attempt for the day. 58 goals this season, 8 tries. And the Superoos are up 18 points to 6 with 10 minutes left in the first half.
Jamberoo try was scored by the number 15, Jack Loveday. Conversion by Dean Watling.
Carroll with a nice high kick off.
Jamberoo 18.
Ben Barnard underneath that. Returning it for the Superoos. They need a good set of 6 after points. Asquith to Loveday. Goes to Aaron Grigg this time. Featured in the front row all year for the Superoos. Him and Matt Webster have been a good front row pairing and featured in almost every game this year. Dylan McGregor getting himself busy in defence. James Asquith goes to Josh Kent. Torpedo kick. This will certainly test out the fullback. Can't get a quick handling on it there, and it goes towards the end goal. Be cleaned up by Jai Brooker. Got plenty of pressure there, but he does very well. And he's 5 metres out from his own try line. Could have been a whole lot worse there for the Sharks, but Jai Brooker did very well to cover for his fullback. And a penalty there for an extra effort from Jake Clark in defence. Here's McCracken. Goes to Dylan McGregor. Short ball away to Daniel McLennan. It's featured in every game this year for the Sharks. Ball not fighting hand, and in fact it's gone forward. Sharks a little bit off their game. Passes not fighting hand, execution not going their way, and the Superoos once again are in good field territory. Josh Kent gets the offload away, ball not finding hand there, and Greg will have to clean up the scraps. Asquith for dummy half. Goes to his brother Luke. Asquith to Dallas. Take the tackle himself. And numbers to his left, but as they work back to the right here, the Superoos. Here's Mark Asquith. Nice dummy half ball there from his brother James. He gives it back to him. This is Kent. Cut that ball away to Trent Ryan. Here goes Ryan down the touchline. And he's met in a good, solid tackle there from Ian Catania. Here's James Asquith. Goes to Kent. Back on the inside to Gilmore. Shellharbour Sharks need to hold him out here. Last tackle. Asquith back to the right this time. Here's Josh Kent. Little grubber kick towards the end goal. And a knock on from the Sharks. The Superoos will have the ball back once more. Here's Josh Kent. Not much doing there from the scrum play. Matt Carroll in the tackle, and he's lost it as well. Good defence there from the Sharks. Needed to force an error there. They didn't want the lead to go away from them. They're still in this game, only 12 points behind. There is still 45 minutes left to go, and they need to try before half time. This is a Taylor. And a much needed penalty for the Sharks. Dropped their bundle a little bit, the Superoos, not going off the back of the scrum. Penalty conceded early in the set of 6. Shellharbour City Sharks looking to pounce on the mistakes from the Superoos as they work it forward towards the halfway line. McGregor back on the inside of McCracken. Dylan McGregor getting himself more involved in the play. Nice little wrap around. Skelly back on the inside to the 17. Kane Chapman. Here's Dylan McGregor. Not a bad set of 6 here so far for the Sharks. Need a result at the end of it. Carroll gets it out the back to Catania. Made by a good tackle there by Trent Ryan. Here's Carroll, crossfield kick towards the wing of Brooker. And Jai Brooker, what a great take that is. But he's just held up short before the try line. Jamie Manakonga got the lonely first half try for the Sharks in similar fashion. This time was Matt Carroll going towards the right with a nice kick to Jai Brooker. Here's Aaron Grigg, met by Aaron McLaughlin in the tackle. They go to the left, continuing to pepper that short side. Jake Clark with the ball. This is Luke Asquith. Aaron Grigg with another hit up, been heavily involved in this game. Plenty of hit-ups and good defence as well. James Asquith upended there from Brock Skelly in defence. Last tackle. Here's John O'Dallas from inside the 40. Jai Brooker will bring it back for the Sharks. In his 9th game for the season. Him and Michael McKinley have played on that wing a few times. Michael McKinley has played 8 games this season.
He's on purpose, trust me. I know the guy.
Here's Catania down the short side. Puts a nice little step on. Met by Gilmore in the tackle, just inside 2 minutes left of this first half. Here's Dylan McGregor. Last tackle here, Skelly. Kicks it down to the wing of where Ben Barnard is. His father, John Barnard, was a good footballer for Coleman Knights and Jamberoo Superoos. Here's Mark Asquith down the short side. Also played in the under-20s for the Dragons a couple of seasons ago. Dallas. Short ball away to Greg. Appeal for a forward pass. The play on is the call. Great hit up there from Luke Asquith, getting over 20 metres with that run. Big defensive set here for the Sharks. Half a minute to go till half time. Dallas will take the tackle, not much doing there. He had Josh Kent on his outside. Goes to Kent this time. Cut out ball away to Trent Ryan. Gets it back on the inside to Watling. Goes to Asquith now to James Asquith. Goes to Jack Loveday. Puts a nice little step on. What about that for a try for the Superoos? They go right and then back to the left. Not much defence there in the middle of the park, and Jack Loveday scores his second try for the game. And the Superoos are up 22 points to 6 with a kick to come. As Dean Watling kicks his fourth goal for this afternoon. 2 tries to Jack Loveday. Dean Watling got a try, as well as Jake Clark, 24 points for Jamberoo. And Jamie Manakonga scored the only try for the Sharks. A nice conversion from Matt Carroll. And at half-time in the VB South Coast Group 7 first grade major qualifying semi-final, it is the Jamberoo Superoos leading 24 points to 6. And we'll be back for the second half. So, right to go now. Welcome back to the second half of the major qualifying semi-final between Jamberoo Superoos and the Shellharbour City Sharks at Kevin Walsh Oval. Jamberoo with a commanding 24 points to 6 lead. Showed good ball control in that first half. They were conservative, but did show a lot of creativity and innovation in their attack early in the first half. The Shellharbour City Sharks haven't been their free-flowing best. Some discipline has cost them in a couple of times, but they are a side that can come back into the contest. You wouldn't count them out here. They're down 24 points to 6. They've got some decent players that can get them back into the game for sure. As Josh Kent kicks early on the first set of 6 in the second half. "40 metres out from their own line, the Shellharbour Sharks are in pretty good field position for their first set of 6 in this second period. Good defensive set to start with, and ends up in the hands of Jason Gray. "16 this time, Daniel McLennan with a nice hit up, met by the Asquith boys. Go down right side, McGregor out the back to Brock Skelly, gets the ball away this time to Wade Aiken. That's not a bad run from Wade Aiken. He's pretty hard to get down, and they managed to grab him down there with Clark and also the winger, Ben Barnard as well. They go to the left, McGregor gets the ball away to McCracken, and the Superoos were pretty lucky there that the Sharks came up with a mistake. Sharks were looking very promising. It looked like it was going to be their best set of 6 for the game, but the Superoos just managed to force a knock on at the right time. Shellharbour City Sharks finishing at second position. Scored the most points this season than any other team. In fact, scored 40 or 50 more points than what Jamberoo Superoos did after 18 rounds of football. The Superoos have the better differential. Coming into this game with a differential of plus 306. Whilst the Shellharbour City Sharks differential of plus 282. Here's Loveday, scored a double in the first half. Nice pass away to Aaron Grigg. They're on the go forward here. Gets the offload away to Luke Asquith. Good ball playing there from the Superoos forwards. Here's James Asquith. Dallas goes to Ken. Nice ball away to Trent Ryan, and he's lost it. Just had a second look there, Trent Ryan. Dean Watling was free on that outside and just couldn't come up with the correct handling of the ball. Hasn't played a great deal of footy this year. It's only his 4th game for the season. Playing his first game in over a month. "35 metres out from their own line. Skelly gets it out to the fullback Gray. Jake Clark being busy in defence on that left edge for the Superoos. Here's Atala, had a good first half. Gets himself involved once more. McLaughlin gets a nice ball away to Dylan McGregor, who was the player of the 2016 Group 7 first grade competition last year. And much deserving as well. He had a hell of a year in 2016, and 2017 has just been as good. Ben Barnard plays it to Asquith. That's Mark Asquith this time. Great to see a number of Jamberoo juniors who have been a part of the Superoos set-up since they were 6 or 7 in this first grade team. James Asquith is one of them. Goes to Kent, short ball away to James Gilmore. One of many players in this Superoos team who used to play for the Kima Knights. The 2 Greek boys were there a couple of seasons ago, as well as Ben Barnard on the wing, who had a 2-year stint back in 2013 and 2014. James Asquith, last tackle, goes to the captain coach John O'Dallas. Ricochet off a Shellharbour player, but it'll be play on, and the Sharks will work it out of their own territory, just 40 metres out from their own line, in good field position once more. What to play for here at Kevin Walsh Oval as the Sharks get a penalty. The winner will get the extra week off and will go straight into the grand final, which will be played at Collegiate Sporting Complex in 2 weeks' time. Whilst the loser will take on the Kima Knights next Sunday at Cesclin Homes Oval in Warilla. Here's Jason Gray, getting himself involved early in the set of 6. McGregor, short ball away to McCracken. 35 minutes left, plenty of time for the Sharks to chase down this big lead of the Superoos. McLaughlin to the left. Here's Carroll out the back to Gray. Cut out ball away to Manakonga. Can he get a double for the game? The veteran is being driven back. Good defence there from the right edge of the Superoos. McGregor. 5th and last tackle. Go back to the left this time. It's with the number 17, Kane Chapman. And they couldn't get to their kick there, the Sharks, but the Superoos are deep in their own territory with the football. Sharks look to be a much better team in this second half in comparison to the first. Here's Aaron Grigg. Met by McGregor in the tackle. Luke Asquith. He's back from injury after being out for the past month with a dislocated shoulder. This is Aaron Grigg. Asquith goes to Kent. Nice high kick. Goes to Jason Gray. This is certainly going to test out Gray, and he gets it just in the nick of time. The Superoos players were certainly itching to get their hands on the ball there. And Manakonga will give it off to Jai Brooker. Good defence here from the Superoos. Jake Clark and also the 12, Corey Grigg. Brendan Kelly on the park now. Didn't play in the first 40, but get to go in the second period as Craig Stapleton's back on the park after a good rest on the bench. No injury concerns for both sides coming into this clash and during the first half, so both teams still got their full strength squads for this match. Not a bad kick there from Matt Carroll. finding touch as the Sharks will look to muscle up in defence and try and force a Superoos mistake in their own territory. The Sharks did very well to get themselves back in the winner's circle last week against Kiama. And their two last regular season matches, they come up with losses as they'll get the ball back here in good territory, looking to minimise this lead of the Superoos. And they definitely need to try off this set of 6 to make the job easier. In round 17, the Sharks came up with a 20-point loss to Kiama, 38-18, and then Port Kembla came up with an upset victory, 24-18. And last week in the semi-final, they did well to defeat the Kiama Knights, who have been a pretty good team this year. As the Sharks lose the ball in the first tackle. Good crowd in here at Kevin Walsh Oval. Had some outstanding games of football. The last game was an absolute ripper in reserve grade. Kiama winning that 42-32. In all 4 major qualifying semi-finals, the minor premiers have gone on to win the game and have booked a grand final spot in 2 weeks' time at Collegiate Sporting Complex. Can Jamberoo become the 5th team to do that? Asquith goes to Trent Ryan. This is Mark Asquith. Goes out to Dean Watling. Puts a nice little step, goes back on the inside. Played fullback all year for the Colborough Dolphins last year in their 3rd grade premiership triumph. Good bounce here for the Superoos, but it's well fielded once again by Brendan Kelly. The kicking game hasn't been at its best in the second half for the Superoos, as the Sharks have ended up with the ball each time on their own 40-metre line and have worked it back into the Superoos half. This is Jai Brooker, met by Clark in the tackle. Jay Clark has had quite an outstanding year in the number 3 jumper for the Superoos. Goes to Jake Goody, 40 metres out. McLaughlin out of acting half. Craig Stapleton, he's hard to stop. And that's a great run from the big man. 5th and last tackle. Need a quick play the ball, they certainly get that. Carroll cut out ball away to Jason Gray, short ball away. It goes out of the wing of Jamie Manakonga. Manakonga gets the pass away out the back, this time to McLaughlin. And McLaughlin has met a good tackle there from Ben Wade, who's just come onto the park. He'll probably play in the centres. He's played a bit of back row and centre this year. Here come the Superoos. John O'Dallas out of acting half. Corey Grigg, short ball away to Jake Clark. Can't get around the outside of Brooker. Not a bad set of 6 here for the Superoos. And they get themselves a penalty as well. That's the last thing the Sharks need. It's in fact, I think it's one of the first penalties Jamberoo have got in this second period. As the Superoos look to extend their lead even further, it's the first time that they've had the ball down this end of the park in the second period. Yesterday we had elimination semi-finals at Kiama Showground. The Ladies League Tag, Kiama Knights ended the Shellharbour Gold season winning 28-4. Dallas at the back to Kent. Goes to Mark Asquith, and he's lost it. Trent Ryan pounces on it. As the Sharks come up with another good defensive set of 6 there. Superoos not at their free-flowing best of what they were in the first half. In third grade yesterday, the Culborough Dolphins won 28 points to 10 over Albion Park Outlaws. In the 18s, Albion Park won by just a point, 23 to 22 over Stingrays. Albion Park Oak Flats Eagles, they defeated the Narrabomberary Jets 28-4 in reserve grade. Goes with Jason Gray this time, met by Clark. And also Matty Webster. Brendan Kelly out of acting half. Not a bad little dummy half run there, showing good initiative. McLaughlin. McGregor, short ball away. Goes to Jake Goody. McLaughlin goes out to Carroll. Here goes Matt Carroll, finds himself in space. Here goes Carroll, gets the ball out to where Dean Watling is. It's gone into the hands of the Jamberoo winger. Maybe if Matt Carroll took the dummy there, he might have scored himself, but his winger, Manakonga, wasn't where he needed to be, and now they've conceded a penalty. That's the last thing the Sharks needed. Matt Carroll, on a second occasion, fooling the Jamberoo defence with a nice show and go. Maybe if he took a nice little inside step and outstepped the fullback Mark Asquith, he might have gone over to score, but 26 minutes left. In the other first grade game, we had Kymar Knights winning 19-4 over Gerringong Lions, the defending premiers. It was the first time in over a decade the Lions haven't featured in either the final or the grand final. And Kymar Knights are a decent side. Here goes Jono Dallas, finds himself in a gap. Here goes Ben Barnard down the touchline. And a good tackle there from Brooker. They're on the attack here, the Superoos, Asquith. Dallas short ball away to Webster. They're set to the right with Kent. Josh Kent back on the inside to Asquith. Fifth and last tackle here. Dallas to the left. Josh Kent to the right. They go to the left where Dallas is. Jono Dallas with a nice little grub and kick. It goes to Jai Brooker. And he's had a great game, Jai Brooker. Here he goes. Jai Brooker. Not a bad run. He's met by Barnard in the tackle. He's had a good game. The winger, Jai Brooker, he's been under pressure a lot. He's cleaned up a lot of times out the back. Found himself in pretty difficult situations, and he's managed to turn it into a positive for his side. As the Sharks get a much-needed penalty. Great touch finder there from Matt Carroll. Jamberoo Superoos have had a terrific home record this year here at Kevin Walsh Oval. They've only lost just the one game to Port Kembla here. Midway through the year, losing 20-18. But the other times they've managed to win big here at what has proven to be quite a fortress. Here come the Sharks looking for a grandstand finish. Stapleton plays it to Schuster. They go to the left. Here's Carroll. Out the back to Jason Gray. Here goes Jason Gray. Can't get around the outside of Dean Watling and Trent Ryan. Here's Manakonga, and another penalty for the Shellharbour Sharks. They need to capitalise. If they can just get one try, it would create good momentum heading into the back half of this game. Stapleton. Good strong hit up. Been a part of the Shellharbour Sharks first grade side for a couple of years now. Carroll, they go to the left for Jason Gray. Dean Watling just bats it over the touchline. And it'll be another set of 6, I assume, for the Sharks. And it will be. Sharks have done well to get themselves into good field territory in the second half, but what's probably missing is just that final pass to go right. Skelly. Out to Aiken. Wade Aiken in his 10th game for the season, plays to Schuster. Goes to Goody. Schuster goes to Carroll, back on the inside. Nice little ball there to the number 3, Catania. Here's Goody. Gets off to Craig Stapleton. Can't get the offload away. And he's lost the football. Sharks are not happy with that call. I thought it was a knockback, but got to go with the referee on that one. Closer to the play than what I was. And the Superoos with another impressive defensive set of 6. If they can hang on to their lead, they're just 22 minutes away from maybe booking their first grade grand final in 43 years. Their lower grades had a pretty good year, in fact. Their ladies league tag managed to finish at 5th position, same as their 3rd grade side. Both teams losing their eliminations finals last weekend at Gerringong. Here's Jake Clark. Webster. Manny Webster plays big minutes for a front rower. Played the whole game so far. Brendan Smith gets the offload away. Great offload that is to Trent Ryan. Ryan goes out to Gilmore. They go down the right side. They got the numbers. Here goes Dean Watling. Dean Watling down the touchline. He's going to be hard to stop. And he's met by Catania in the tackle. Simple draw and pass out here. Might be good for the Superoos. Here's Josh Kent. Here goes Josh Kent. Nice little run there through the middle of the park. Here goes Josh Kent. And he's met by Jason Gray in the tackle. They got numbers to the left out here. I assume they'll go that way. Here's James Asquith. Goes to Aaron Grigg. Great one-on-one tackle from McGregor. In fact, he was inside the 10. You sense he probably needed to concede that penalty because a couple of more passes and the Superoos could have had their 5th try for the year. And John O'Dallas has said they might go for the 2 points. And they will. Smart play from the Superoos, winding down the clock. And it'll be Dean Watling to come from that right wing to take the kick a goal from 20 metres out. Not in a bad position to extend their lead to 20 points. Dean Watling with already 4 goals and a try today. Looking to have the first points for this second half. Dean Watling with 150 points scored this season. And solid conversion attempt from Dean Watling right between the uprights. His 5th goal for the day. 14 points for him, 5 goals and a try. As the Superoos lead 26 points to 6 with 19 minutes left in this game.
The penalty goal by the Jamberoo number 5, Dean Watling, raised the flags, and now
Jamberoo haven't
26.
used much of their interchange yet.
Shellharbour
Jay
6.
Tooth yet to come onto the park. In fact, Matt Webster's just come off the football field, and I assume that Jay Tooth might have taken his position. Here's Mark Asquith, gets a second grab at it. What has been pitch perfect conditions for football here today. The start of spring. Here's Asquith. Off to Ben Wade. Here goes Ben Wade. What a run that is. Ben Wade, he's got support on his inside. He gives it away to the 18. Brendan Smith puts a nice little step on. He's got Trent Ryan on his outside. He uses him. Here goes Trent Ryan. Good tackle there from Manaconga. The Superoos looking to extend their lead. Kent goes to Dallas. Good interchange of passing here. Here's Mark Asquith, goes out to Jake Clark, puts a nice little step on, and Jake Clark's going to score his second try for this afternoon. It all started with that nice run from Ben Wade. The pass back on the inside from Smith. Smart play from Ryan to take the tackle, and on the next play, they come up with their 5th try for this afternoon. The Superoos are up 30 points to 6 with 17 minutes left. And all of a sudden they found their stride, emulating their style of play from the first half. They've got such good go forward, big forwards in this Superoos team. Unfortunately, the Sharks just haven't been on their game today. I think a lot of people would have come to this ground expecting a much closer encounter, but the Superoos have been terrific today. Dean Watling has been perfect with his goal kicking. Yet to miss a conversion attempt. Much tougher attempt this time. Previous attempt was much closer to the post. Dean Watling, who's been probably one of the best rookies in the 2017 first grade season, lines up the kick, and he's got it over just in the inside of the left-hand upright. Dean Watling with his 6th conversion for the day. And the Superoos lead 32 points to 6 with 15 minutes left. Shellharbour is certainly in for a miracle here to try and chase down this huge lead that the Superoos have.
Raise the flags, and it's Jamberoo 32, Shellharbour 6.
Ben Wade, former Kaimanite, came to the Superoos last year, played a fair bit of centre. He's come off the bench this year in a couple of games, playing back row. Filled in at centre whenever Jake Clark has been out injured. Here's Asquith. Nice ball out to Ben Barnard. Here he goes down the touchline, Ben Barnard. And he's met there by the centre, Wade Aiken. He might be hurt here. One of the quickest men in the competition. All started with that nice pass there from John Dallas.
Anyone's lost the phone over towards the skate park area.
And Ben Barnard,
the girls have got it over in the canteen. If
gets up a
anyone's
bit
lost
gingerly,
a phone,
looks to be okay. Hopefully it's nothing
was found in
too
the
serious.
skate park area. It's over in the canteen.
One more try here you would think would cement their grand final spot in 2 weeks' time for the Superoos. Asquith goes to Dallas. Takes the tackle himself, met by Craig Stapleton. Asquith, they go to the right this time. Josh Kent. Out to Mark Asquith, nice little grubber kick. And it ends up in the hands of Manaconga. Not a bad set of 6 there for the Superoos after points. And they're really muscling up here in defence. Sharks, they need a penalty here. Need something to spark their attack to spark the miracle comeback you'd sense. Down the short side with Schuster, the skipper. Offloads it out the back to Manaconga. And a much needed penalty there for the Sharks. Carroll finds touch. And the Shellharbour Sharks are up against a pretty decent Kaimanite team in a sense if they lose this game next week. Kymor Knights lost a couple of players from their squad last year, but they've got a couple of the under-18s in their team this year that featured in their undefeated season last year. Jake Goody has stood tall for the Sharks today. Been heavily involved. He's played more minutes than what he's normally used to. Kane Chapman plays it to Schuster. Back on the inside to Stapleton. As I mentioned before, Dean Watling has certainly been one of the rookies of the year in 2017, Group 7 first grade, as well as Cam Fazzola, the halfback from Kymor Knights. The Gerringong centre, Toby Gumley-Quine, and Jack Loveday as well from the Superoos, who plays off the bench. Skelly with a nice cross-field kick. We'll test out the wing of Ben Barnard, knocked back from Brooker. Nice little grubber kick from Jason Gray. And John O'Dallas has lost it. As Jamie Manaconga has been taken dead. Desperation defence there from the Superoos. They've done that on a number of occasions. They've propelled a couple of Matt Carroll tries, and Jamie Manaconga as well, who's been denied a couple of times on that left side of the field. Aaron Grigg. Had a decent game, Aaron Grigg. In his 16th game for the season, just the one try next to his name. Gilmore on the halfway line. Good go forward here for the Superoos. Quick dummy half run. Ends up in the hands of Luke Asquith. Offloads away. Pass not finding hand. Aaron Grigg goes out to Mark Asquith on the halfway line. Here goes Mark Asquith at the back to Jake Clark. Can he find his winger and Ben Barnard? Puts a nice little step on and is met by Brendan Kelly in the tackle. Mark Asquith out of acting half. Back on the inside. John O'Dallas. Lofted border. Luke Asquith ends up in the hands of Kent. Now to Trent Ryan. And a good tackle there from Manaconga. Watling to Gilmore. Here's Dallas. Crossfield kick towards the wing of Ben Barnard. And well fielded there from the 14, Brendan Kelly. As the Sharks get a penalty. Just to reiterate, we've already had grand final spots cemented in the Ladies League Tag. Milton Ulladulla Bulldogs will be there in 2 weeks' time. In third grade, the Sussex Inland Panthers. In the 18s, the Milton Ulladulla Bulldogs, and in reserve grade, the Kymor Knights. Skelly, short ball away to Goody. That means in reserve grade, Albion Park Oak Flats will take on the Gerringong Lions next week at Cesclin Holmes Oval for the reserve grade preliminary final. In the 18s, Albion Park Oak Flats will once again meet the Royal Lake South Gorillas for the second time in the semi-finals. Skelly puts a nice little grubber kick in and finds the hands of Ben Barnard. Tulborough Dolphins will face Mount Warrigal Kurri in the third grade preliminary final. In the Ladies League Tag, the Kymor Knights will take on the Stingrays Green. Under 10 minutes left, Aaron Grigg with a nice simple hit up, as he's done all day. Nice right side attacking shift. Gilmore out to Watling. Here's James Gilmore gaining some easy metres up the middle here. The Sharks forwards looking a bit tired as the Superoos knock on it halfway. As Jamberoo will just wind down the clock. Before this game, the Shellharbour City Sharks' biggest losing margin this season was against the Kyman Knights, losing 38-18 in round 17 at the Kyman Showground. As they've lost the ball again, it just hasn't been their day. As this is their biggest losing margin right now, 26 points. Dallas out to Mark Asquith. Goes to Jake Clark. Puts a nice little step on, met by Skelly in the tackle. Barnard a dummy half. Dallas out to Brendan Smith. Number 14, Jay Tooth, playing a dummy half. James Asquith has gone off the field. Dallas out to Josh Kent. Can't have ball away, might have gone forward. Ends up with Watling, and it has a bit of a scrappy end of this match. Both sides losing their way a little bit in attack. Been quite a big game for the Superoos. They will play in their first grand final in quite a long time. They've been through some tough periods between 1989 and 2009. They didn't have the first grade side. John O'Dallas and his men have done a terrific job this year in first grade, building quite a decent squad, plenty of depth as well. And they've certainly earned their spot in the grand final in 2017. Carroll out a dummy half. Here goes Matt Carroll. Carroll with a nice little dummy. Here goes Matt Carroll, and he's going to go over and score. He's been one of the standouts for Shellharbour today. He's managed to find himself in open space on a number of occasions, but this time comes up with the goods. Scores his 9th try for the season, Matt Carroll. And he gets this goal over, that's 200 points for the season for him. Just under 4 minutes left. Jamberoo Superoos fans are certainly enjoying this afternoon. Quite an historic day for them. In 2 weeks' time, they'll be chasing history. They have been through a lot, and a first-grade premiership would be a terrific achievement for this side. Matt Carroll with the conversion, and it hits the uprights to the left. Jamberoo leading 32 points to 10. Just under 3 minutes left. Jamie
Manaconga
and Matt Carroll have been the only try scorers. Carroll's only just had the one conversion attempt.
32, Shellharbour 10.
Jake Clark with a double, Jack Loveday with a double, and also Dean Watling a try. Dean Watling with 6 conversions. Skelly, short ball away to McLaughlin. A lot of outstanding efforts from Jamberoo. Mark Asquith's had a good game, as well as Matty Webster. Jake Clark, Dean Watling as well. And the Superoos will get a penalty for obstruction. And John O'Dallas is saying the 2 points just to wide down the clock. Dean Watling looking to have his 7th conversion for the day. Already scored 16 points, a try and 6 goals. Shellharbour will face Kiama Knights next week in the preliminary final. Kiama Knights, they're chasing a bit of history as well. Haven't won a premiership since 1985. What a grand final that could possibly be. Jamberoo and Kiama. Oldest rivalry in Group 7. Jamberoo chasing their first premiership in 43 years. Kiama Knights chasing their first in 31. Less than 2 minutes left. Dean Watling, the conversion attempt. Sharks will have to regroup next week. They will get another shot at a grand final berth, but they just got to have better discipline for next week and try and have better execution, especially with the centres and the wingers on the end of plays. They can work themselves into enemy territory, but they have struggled today with their execution. The Superoos have probably been the polar opposite. They haven't dropped much ball. They haven't let that many opportunities go into the Sharks' hands. Showed some desperation and desire in defence.
Penalty goal.
That's the sort of thing that gets you into a grand final.
And it scores Jamberoo 34,
16 seconds left.
Shellharbour 10.
Jamberoo Superoos will go to their first grand final in 43 years. It's been a long time. And these Superoos fans are absolutely ecstatic with that victory. They win 34 points to 10. The try scorer is Jake Clark, a double to Jack Loveday, a try to Dean Watling. He got 7 conversions, 10 points for the Shellharbour City Sharks. Jamie Manaconga a try and Matt Carroll a try and 1 conversion for Carroll.
At full time, it's 34 points to 10.
Jamberoo Superoos will play in the grand final at Collision Sporting Complex in 2 weeks' time, whilst the Shellharbour City Sharks will take on the Kiama Knights.
Thank you all supporters that turned up today. It was a great sight, big crowd. And on behalf of Roy Mills and his board at Group 7, we wish all the fathers